we got a patch about 2 days ago, and I just want to go on ahead and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Just review it real quick. There wasn't too much crazy stuff added in this patch, but I do have to go on ahead and speak on it. This is not a video where we're going to just talk about patch notes. I just want to talk about the patch itself and what it brought to the game. Now, it didn't bring much, I'll tell you that. Just to go on ahead and go over it real quick, it brought general and online stability improvements, addressed reported concerns of the custom entrance template appearing locked when it shouldn't, and support for upcoming MyFaction events. And for that being said, there is hidden content being added on into this game, which I think is a pretty dope thing with a lot of the MyFaction models, but I am going to criticize it in just a second. Now, this patch right here, man, I am really tired of seeing online stability in every patch and not actually being explained what it actually is. I think that's one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to just the patch notes in WWE 2K24. It feels like every patch we are getting patch notes for online stability, but nothing is actually explained on what's being fixed, and the servers are just as bad after these servers are updated, which makes you question, are they really updating these servers? Are they putting that there just so the fan base shuts up about, you know, a fix for the online servers? Now, MyFaction, as you guys know, that's going to continue getting love, and that's just what it is, and I'm going to get into that in just a second. But before we go there, this patch pretty much solidifies to me we're not going to be getting that many big patches anymore. This patch is what it is. We're all the way through mid-August. I thought that August would be the month where they would continuously pump out WWE 2K24 MyFaction content, and so far it hasn't been that, which is another thing which leaves me always thinking, all right, what are they going to do next? The only thing that does make me happy about this is, just like I said, we're midway through August now. We're over that. Then September comes around and we're back to the races with the Global Superstars pack, which I'm super excited for. I haven't played WWE 2K24 in a little while, but I hop on from time to time just to get those live events done, and that's why I am glad that they're still bringing support and content to the WWE 2K24 MyFaction mode. But the Persona cards is one thing that I have an issue with, and I talked a little bit about it last video, but I have to speak on it again because it seems like an ongoing trend. The Macho Man Randy Savage, love it. It's the Slim Jim version. You guys see that here. It just looks amazing. They did an amazing job with this, even though a lot of people say Macho Man's model is not the greatest, but I must say that I love the attire. I think that the attire is pretty cool, and it would make me want to play MyFaction to get the attire. Big Papa Pump is on the way, but he was not added in this update, so we got to keep an eye out for that. But the prototype John Cena, that's an issue that I have. You guys are charging us for a Persona card that was already in the game last year as part of the showcase, and I get it. You have to make this worth it and make people, you know, spend money. It's part of the business, but I think that this is flat out wrong. There's no reason why these cards should be in the game for paid content when they were in the game just a year ago. If prototype John Cena was never in 2K23, I would have been like, hey, you know what? This is actually a pretty cool thing, the fact that they're going this far to give us this content. But the fact that he was just in the game last year just comes out as flat out lazy and money hungry, and I have an issue with that. I love the MyFaction mode for the most part. I think that is one of the best things in the game. I know a lot of people complain about it. Everybody's entitled to feel the way that they do, but I think that I showed 2K some support. I always talk about, you know, how it could be improved, what can be fixed. But when it comes down to it, this game at the very moment is looking just a little bit too greedy for my liking. I know a lot of people complain that it's a pay to win mode, but in my opinion, it's not. I spent about 50-60 bucks and I have a pretty good team that I enjoy playing with. But this right here, the prototype John Cena, I don't think that should be a thing where you're charging people for it when it was already in the game before. That's an issue that I've had for many years, even when they weren't charging for content or doing MyFaction. When they put content in the game and rip it out, that is probably one of my biggest problems with this game. Things like that need to be improved. They need to be fixed, because at the end of the day, bro, you know, MyFaction does better. That means that they're going to keep improving on the mode, keep adding stuff, and hopefully they continue to hook more people. But when they do this and people are already against the MyFaction mode, and then they see that they're dropping a wrestler attire that was in the game last year and dropping it again for us to actually spend money on, I think a lot of people get turned off, and I rightfully so can't blame them for that. That's just flat out what it is, and that's one of the biggest problems our community has right now. Nonetheless though, I do like that MyFaction is being supported, but we gotta stop with making people pay for things. One thing that I would be truly behind is having NXT wrestlers that legit did not make the game and WWE approves them later on throughout the year, and then you put those cards in the mode for us to be able to grind for or spend money for if you want, but don't go crazy with it. Put yourself, you know, in other people's shoes. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to go and make every super card expensive. I just think that when you look at the mode and what keeps people away from the mode is seeing a lot of these cards just for gambling. Give us a mode where we can go in there and grind. If you guys played NBA 2K My Team, it's a pay to win mode, of course, but at the beginning of the year, they always have something called domination where you can actually unlock some of the best cards in the game. Give us something like that. Give us new seasons where we can get new persona cards, maybe even wrestlers that aren't in the game at all. There's just so much that you can do with this MyFaction mode, but I feel like 2K is just simply holding it back in a way. And I know that part of it is WWE. I know that there's a lot that goes into this license, so I really can't just put the blame on 2K themselves, but you want to see this game mode just grow and get bigger. And, you know, I think that it could benefit a lot of people, especially if it comes to a point where they're adding wrestlers that legit didn't make the game and WWE approved later throughout the year. I just think that it could be a great thing. Nonetheless, I don't think we're going to be getting any big patches anytime soon. I think that the last big patch was the Pat McAfee DLC, and that's pretty much it. I'd be very surprised if we got anything else that was crazier. With next month's patch, we'll probably get some more weapons, maybe the Carlito apple. I did hear that that was confirmed by Brian Williams in an interview, so we'll probably get to see that. We'll probably get to see a couple more weapons as part of this, you know, whole Global Stars pack. But in terms of big changes to the game, we're probably not going to see that anymore. We're already going to be about 5-6 months into the game cycle, which is insane to think about. And again, thank you guys so much for the support watching the videos. But just not to get off topic, it's just been a crazy year, ups and downs. I think the game had a great start, but here we are. And all in all, I'm glad that they're still supporting the game and dropping patches. I'm not going to give this patch a bad review, but I just think that, you know, we need more, especially the game not being as great as it could be or should be. You know, I feel like we need more in these patches. But nonetheless, the patches this year have been freaking amazing for the most part. Like the one that dropped with the Post Malone and Friends pack, amazing. The Pat McAfee pack was okay. And then we also had the CM Punk pack, which you had all those new weapons in there. I mean, 2K has been doing a fantastic job at trying to keep people intrigued with these patches and updates to the game. But I think the big issue for me is the online stability improvements. I just want to see more than that. Maybe some more patch notes on just that. So, hey man, we got some content coming. I'm hoping you guys enjoy the MyFaction stuff. I got to talk about it. I know you guys don't like it, but we got to talk about it, man. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to catch y'all. Peace.